I wanted to punch the doctor in the face. I wanted to scatter his table and break his fine glasses. How can a man look me in the eye and tell me that my 3 strong boys, the children I used my own sweat and money to feed for 17 years, are not human beings? The doctor held the white paper in his hand like it was fire that would burn him. He looked at me with fear in his eyes. He said, "Musa, please look at this thing well. The machine cannot lie. The computer cannot make mistake. Your wife Aisha is their mother. Yes, the blood matches her own, but you, no. And the bad part, the part that is making me fear, is that no man on this earth is their father. Their blood is empty. It is like nobody born them. It is like they are ghosts walking in the daytime." Let me take you back small so you will understand why my head is hot and my body is shaking. My name is Musa, and I just turned 50 years old last week. 50 is a big age in Nigeria. If you reach 50 and you are alive, you have to thank God. I'm a happy man. I have a good wife. Her name is Aisha. We've been married for plenty years, and we have 3 boys. My firstborn is Camille. He's 17 and very tall. The second one is G-Day. He's 15 and he likes book too much. The last born is Toby. He's 12 and he likes to play football. These boys are my life. They are my pride. My younger brother Ahmed is very rich. He has money like sand. He drives big cars and lives in a big house in Maitama. Because of my 50 years birthday, Ahmed called me. He said, "Brother Musa, you have tried for this family. You have suffered too much. I want to make you happy. I will carry you, your wife Aisha, and all your 3 boys to Dubai for holiday. Everything is free. I will pay for the flight, the hotel, the food, everything." I was so happy, I nearly jumped up. I danced inside my parlor. My wife was shouting with joy. My boys were running around the house because they have never entered airplane before. We started packing our bags. We bought new clothes. We were ready to go and enjoy life. But Ahmed told me that there is a new law for the visa. He said the embassy people are very strict now. They said we must do medical tests. They want to check our eyes, our chest, and they want to check our DNA to be sure that we are really family and we are not carrying another person's children to run away. I said, "No problem. Why should I fear? I know my blood is strong. My boys look like me. Everybody says Toby has my big nose." We went to the big hospital in Abuja on Monday morning. The place was smelling nice, not like normal hospital. We laughed and joked. The nurse came and put needle in our arm. I told Toby not to cry, that he's a man like his daddy. We gave him our blood and we went home to wait for the results so we can get our visa. 3 days later, my phone rang. It was the hospital. The voice on the phone was serious. They said, "Mr. Musa, please come to the hospital now. Come alone. Don't bring your wife. Don't bring your children. Just come." My heart started beating fast like a drum. Boom, boom, boom. I thought maybe I had big sickness. Maybe I have cancer. I drove my Toyota car with speed. I did not even stop for traffic light. When I reached the hospital, the nurse took me to the office of Dr. Arenzi. Dr. Arenzi is a big man, but today he looked small. He locked the door and closed the curtains. He was sweating even though the AC was very cold. He told me to sit down. That was when he showed me the paper. He said, "Musa, see this 0%? It means you are not their father." I laughed a dry laugh. I asked him if he is playing rough play. I asked him if he is crazy. I said, "Is it my wife? Did she cheat on me? Tell me the truth." The doctor shook his head slowly. He said, "Musa, that is the problem. If she cheated with another man, we will see the blood of that man inside the children. But this one, there is nothing. It is strange. It is like their father is not a human being. It is like they were made inside a factory. Their DNA is not complete. Biologically, these children do not exist." I sat on the chair and my mouth was open. I could not close it. I thought about Camille. I thought about G-Day. I thought about Toby. I remembered when I taught him how to walk. I remembered when I paid their school fees. I stood up. My legs were shaking like leaf on top of water. I walked out of the office. I did not tell the doctor goodbye. I walked to the car park. I saw my wife Aisha sitting inside the car waiting for me to come home. She did not know I came to the hospital. I looked at the picture of my boys on my phone. They looked like strangers now. They looked like monsters. I did not know that the Dubai trip was over. I did not know that my life as a father was finished. The war has just started. The drive from the hospital to my house was the longest journey of my life. I drove my Toyota like a madman. The road was blurry because water was full in my eyes. I was not crying, but my heart was bleeding inside. Every time I held the steering wheel, I remembered the doctor's voice. 0%. Not my children. Ghost children. I wanted to crash the car into the bridge so everything would end, but I remembered I'm a man. I must ask her. I must hear the truth from her own mouth before I do anything. When I reached my compound in Musa, the gate man Sunday opened the gate and waved at me with a big smile. He shouted, "Oga, welcome." He did not know that the man driving the car had died inside. I parked the car badly. I did not even care if I scratched the paint. I heard noise coming from the parlor. It was Toby laughing. That laugh used to make my belly sweet me. It used to make me happy. Now it sounded like a knife scratching inside a metal pot. It scratched my ears. It scratched my brain. I opened the front door and entered the house. The AC was cool, but my body was hot like fire. Aisha was in the kitchen frying dodo. The sweet smell of plantain filled the whole house. It smelled like a happy home. It smelled like a lie. She turned and saw my face. She dropped the frying spoon inside the oil. Gwam! A woman always knows when her husband is carrying fire. She wiped her hands on her wrapper. She asked me, "Musa, what is it?" She asked if it is the car or if Ahmed is in trouble. I did not answer. I walked to the dining table and threw the white paper on top. It landed near the plate of rice. I told her to look at it. I asked her, "Who owns these children in this house?" My voice was too loud. It shook the window glasses. The boys ran out from their room. Camille, Jide, and Toby. They stood by the door looking at me with fear. They had never seen their daddy like this before. I looked at them and I felt like vomiting. I told them to go back inside and lock the door. I shouted it, "Go inside now!" Aisha picked the paper. Her hands were shaking like someone who has fever. She read it. She looked at me. She read it again. She started crying. She fell on her knees. She swore to God Almighty. She swore with her mother's grave. She said, "Musa, I have never known another man." She said, "Only you since the day we married." She said, "Only you touched me." I told her to stop lying. I told her that science does not lie. The blood does not lie. The machine does not lie. If I am not the Father, then who is the Father? Is it the breeze? Is it the Holy Spirit? Tell me now before I do something bad. She held my leg. She was crying plenty tears. Then she stopped. She wiped her face. She looked like she remembered something from a long time ago, something she buried deep in her mind. She asked me if I remember before we had Camille. She asked if I remember how we looked for a child for 5 years and we saw nothing. I remembered. We prayed, we fasted, we drank bitter herbs from the village. Nothing happened. Then she told me the secret. She said there was one clinic she went to, one clinic run by white people. She said the name was Helix Foundation. She said a friend told her they help women who cannot born child. She went there alone. They gave her injection. They told her it was just vitamins to make her womb strong.
She said she did not tell me because I said we should wait for God's time. She went there 3 times. After that, she got pregnant for Camille. Then later G-Day came, then Toby came. I looked at her. She was not lying. I know my wife. She can be stupid sometimes, but she is not a loose woman. But who were these Helix people? What did they put inside the injection? Was it another man's seed? In Osago. I looked at the closed door where my boys were hiding. If the injection gave her the babies, then who is the father? The doctor said the father is not a human being. Fear caught me again. Cold fear. I sat down on the floor beside Aisha. The house was quiet. The dodo was burning on the fire in the kitchen. Black smoke was coming out. It smelled like something dead. I did not stand up to off the gas. Let it burn. My whole life is burnt to ashes already. We sat there in the smoke, 2 parents of children that belonged to nobody.
I did not sleep that night. How can a man sleep when his house is built on top of water? I sat in the parlor watching the ceiling fan turn round and round. Aisha was in the room crying quietly. The boys were sleeping, or maybe they were pretending. I looked at their door and I felt fear. Not the fear of a thief or a snake, but the fear of something I do not understand. Morning reached quickly. The sun came out, but my house was still dark. I told the boys, no school today. I lied that the car is spoiled. Toby, my last born, went to the kitchen to fetch water. I heard a loud sound, a crash. Something broke. I ran to the kitchen. Toby had broken a glass cup. He was trying to pick the pieces, and the glass cut his hand deep. Blood was rushing out plenty. Red blood. Human blood. I shouted, "Toby, leave it!" I ran to get the cotton wool and spirit from the bathroom. When I came back, maybe just 30 seconds later, I held his hand to clean the blood. I wiped the red stain away. I looked for the cut so I can put plaster. I looked and looked. My brother, there was no cut. The skin was smooth. It was fresh like new bread. I saw the blood on the floor. I saw the blood on the rag, but the hand was perfect. Toby looked at me and asked, "Daddy, why are you squeezing my hand like that?" I dropped his hand like it was hot coal. I backed away from him. The doctor said they don't exist biologically. Now I saw it with my own 2 eyes. My son is not just a boy. He's something else. He healed too fast. It is not normal. It is not juju. It is that science thing the doctor was talking about. I ran outside the house and called my brother Ahmed. My hand was shaking so much I almost dropped the phone. Ahmed picked and I told him everything. I told him about the 0%. I told him about the Helix clinic. I told him about Toby's hand that heals like magic. Ahmed did not shout. That is why he's a rich man. He knows how to keep cool head in hot water. He said, "Musa, stay where you are. I'm coming." Ahmed arrived in his big black Mercedes. He did not come alone. He came with a man who wore a suit and dark glasses. Ahmed said, "This man is Mr. Peter. He finds things that are lost. He finds secrets." We sat in my parlor. I told Mr. Peter about the Helix Foundation. Mr. Peter typed on his laptop computer. He tapped and tapped, then he stopped. He turned the computer to show us. He said, "Mr. Musa, this Helix Foundation left Nigeria 12 years ago. They were running away because the government wanted to arrest them. They were doing experiments on women. They were trying to create perfect human beings, children who could not fall sick, children who were stronger than normal people. They called it Project Chimera." I felt cold enter my spinal cord. My boys are experiments? My Toby is a project? Mr. Peter said the bad news is not that they left. The bad news is that their computer system is still active. He said when we did that DNA test for the visa, the result went to the central database. He said the red light has flashed in their office. They know we have found out. They know the children are here. I stood up and looked out of the window.
I saw a black Jeep with tinted glass parked across the street near the gutter. The engine was running. Nobody came down. I've been living in this street for 10 years, and I know everybody's car. I've never seen that Jeep before. I called Ahmed to come and look. Ahmed looked through the curtain. He cursed in Hausa. He said, "Musa, they are here. They are watching you." I looked at my boys eating into me on the dining table. They were laughing and watching cartoon. They did not know that outside the gate bad people were waiting. They did not know that their own body is a secret that people want to steal. I went to the drawer and brought out my old machete. It was rusty, but it was heavy. Ahmed asked me what I want to do. I told him that I don't care if they are experiments. I don't care if they have 0% of my blood. I fed them. I clothed them. I taught them how to pray. If these people think they can just come and carry my children like goats in the market, they lie. Today they will know that even if I am not their biological father, I am the lion of this house. But deep inside I was shaken. How can a man fight people who can create human beings from computer numbers? The war has come to my doorstep.
We knew we could not stay in that house again. The house that was my palace for 15 years had turned into a cage. The black Jeep was still outside, waiting like a hungry lion. My brother Ahmed said we must move. He said his house in Maitama has police security and high fence. He said we should pack small bag, just important things. I went to the room to pack my clothes, but my hands were heavy. I looked at the family picture on the wall. We looked so happy there. Now everything was breaking. It was time to move. I told Aisha to enter the back seat with Toby and Jide. Camille sat in the front with me. I hid my machete under the seat of the car. I told Ahmed to drive his Mercedes in front. I will follow him with my Toyota. Sunday, the gate man opened the gate. He looked confused because he saw fear in our eyes. As soon as my car nose entered the street, the black Jeep moved. It did not just follow us, it blocked the road. Gabam! 2 men came down from the Jeep. They were huge. They wore black suits and dark glasses. They did not look like Nigerian police. They looked like American soldiers from film. One of them held a gun. He did not point it at the sky. He pointed it straight at my chest. He walked to my window. He tapped the glass. He said, "Mr. Musa, open the door. We are here for the assets. Hand over the assets and nobody will die." He called my children assets, like they are furniture, like they are bag of rice. Blood rushed to my eyes. I forgot that he had a gun. I forgot that I am 50 years old. I opened the door and I came out. I asked him who is assets. I asked him if he is mad. The man tried to push me away so he can reach Camille. He made a mistake. You do not touch a lion's cub when the lion is awake. I grabbed the man's hand. I used my head to hit his nose. Headbutt. The bone cracked. He shouted, and the gun fell from his hand. The second man ran towards us. He was bigger than the first one. He grabbed me by my neck. He wanted to choke me. I could not breathe. I saw black spots in my eyes. I thought I was going to die. Then something happened. Camille, my 17-year-old son, jumped out of the car. He did not run away. He ran to the man choking me. Camille pushed the man. It was just a push, but the big man flew backwards like a piece of paper. He hit the Jeep hard. Dent appeared on the metal car door. The man fell on the ground and did not stand up. We all stood there, freezing. Camille looked at his own hands. He was shaking. He did not know he had that kind of power. I coughed and held my neck. I looked at my son. I did not see a monster. I saw a boy who loves his father. I shouted, "Everybody, enter the car!" We drove away with speed. We left the 2 men on the ground. We did not go to Ahmed's house again. They know that place.
We drove for 4 hours until we reached my village in Niger State. The road was bad, full of potholes, but I liked it. Bad road will stop bad people. We went to my late father's old house. It was dusty and quiet. That night, we sat on the floor with lantern. The boys were crying. They were scared. They saw what Camille did. They saw the gun. Toby asked me, "Daddy, what is happening? Why do those men want us?" I knew I could not lie again. The time for truth had reached. I looked at Aisha. She nodded her head. I told them everything. I told them about the DNA. I told them about the Helix Foundation. I told them that their body is special, that they were made to be perfect. The room was silent. You could hear a pin drop. Camille stood up. Tears were rolling down his face. He asked me, "So you are not our father?" He said, "So we are just science project." He said, "Maybe we should just go to those men so you and Mommy can be safe." My heart broke into 2 pieces. I stood up and held Camille tight. I held G-Day. I held Toby. I pulled all of them into a hug. I told them to shut up. I told them that biology is just schoolwork. I told them that father is the man who carries you when you are sleeping, the man who teaches you how to be a man. I told them that even if my blood is not in their body, my spirit is inside them. I said, nobody's taking you away from me. If they want you, they must kill me first. For the first time since this madness started, I felt strong. I was not just Musa the businessman. I was Musa the father, and I was ready for war.
The sound of the helicopter woke up the whole village. It was loud like thunder. Gah, gah, gah. The wind from the big fan on top was blowing the zinc roof of my father's house. Dust was everywhere. My brother Ahmed ran inside the room with his gun. He shouted, "Musa, they have found us!" I looked at my wife and my 3 boys. They were hugging each other in the corner. I told them to stay down. I told them that today is the day we end this nonsense. I picked up my machete again. I felt peace in my heart. A man only dies once. I walked outside into the dust. The helicopter landed in the open field where children play football. 3 men came down, 2 soldiers with big guns and 1 white man in a suit. The white man did not look like a fighter. He looked like a snake. He held a small computer tablet in his hand. He walked towards me. He did not fear my machete. He stopped in front of me. He said, "Mr. Musa, put that knife down. You cannot fight the future with a farm tool." I asked him what he wants. I told him to go back to his laboratory before I cut his leg. The white man laughed. He said, "I am not here to kill the boys. I'm here to save them." He looked at the house where my family was hiding. He shouted loud so they could hear. He said, "Musa, did you tell them the truth? Did you tell them that their body is not finished?" My heart missed a beat. I asked him what he is talking about. He showed me the tablet. He showed me a picture of a DNA strand breaking apart. He said, "Your sons are prototypes. We made them strong, yes. We made them heal fast, yes. But we did not finish the work. Their cells are unstable. If they don't get their booster injection every year, they will get sick. Their body will eat itself. In 1 year, they will all be dead." I looked at the house. Aisha was standing at the door. She heard him. She started crying. She shouted, "Musa, gives them the boys. Don't let my children die." The white man smiled. He knew he had won. He said, "Give us the assets. We will keep them alive in our facility. You can visit them once a year. It is better than burying them." I looked at the white man. I looked at his smug face. I looked at the soldiers. Then I looked at my son, Camille, who was standing behind his mother. He looked strong. He did not look like someone who was dying. I remembered something. This man is a scientist. He needs the boys more than I need him. If the boys die, his experiment fails. He loses his job. He was lying to me. He was afraid." I laughed. I laughed loud. The white man looked confused. He asked me, "Why are you laughing?" I said, "Because you are a fool. You think I'm a stupid village man. If my boys are going to die, why did you bring helicopter? Why did you bring soldiers? You are desperate. You need their blood to fix your mistake." I raised my machete and pointed at him. I said, "Here's the new deal. You will give me the cure. You will give me the formula on that tablet, and you will leave my family alone. If you say no, I will kill the boys myself." The white man's eyes opened wide. He shouted, "Are you mad? You will kill your own children?" I shouted back, "Yes, I will kill 'em before I let you turn 'em into rats in a cage." It was a lie, a big lie. I can never hurt my sons, but I had to play crazy. I had to show him that I am ready to burn everything down. I took one step back towards the house. I shouted, "Ahmed, bring the petrol. We will burn the house down with everybody inside." Ahmed understood the game. He ran out with a jerrycan of fuel. He started pouring water on the ground, pretending it was fuel. The white man panicked. He screamed, "No, stop!" He dropped the tablet. He said, "Take it. The formula is there. Just don't destroy the assets." Helix ran out. He used his speed. He grabbed the tablet from the ground before the soldiers could move. He ran back to me. I held the tablet. I told the white man to enter his helicopter and go. I told him that if I see him again, I will not just burn the house, I will burn him. They entered their helicopter and flew away. The village people came out cheering. They thought we used juju to chase the white man. 2 months later, we were at the airport again. This time, nobody was chasing us. We had sent the formula to the best doctors in the world. They said they can make the medicine for the boys. Helix Foundation was in trouble. The whole world knew what they did. Police were looking for 'em everywhere. We were going to Dubai, finally. We stood in the line for the airplane. A woman was looking at my boys. She recognized them from the news on the television. She looked at me. She asked, "Excuse me, sir, are you the one who fought the helicopter? Are you their handler?" I looked at Camille, G-Day, and Toby. They were laughing and arguing about who would sit by the window. They were not experiments. They were not ghosts. They were just boys. I smiled at the woman. I held my wife's hand. I said, "Madam, I am not a handler. I am their father." We entered the airplane. The engine started. My heart was full. The DNA paper said 0%, but love is 100%, and that is the only truth that matters.